Have you ever stood beneath a canopy of stars, their gentle light stirring a quiet question in your heart? What is my purpose in this vast world? The Bible's opening story, the creation in Genesis 1:2, unfolds a profound and beautiful answer, not only tracing the birth of the cosmos, but also revealing the unique role you play in God's eternal design. This is a story of love, intention, and meaning, a story that speaks to every soul seeking peace and purpose. Let us journey through the dawn of time, where God's voice brought order from chaos, and discover how His creation reflects the light you were made to shine. Picture the Garden of Eden, a paradise woven with divine care. Crystal rivers sparkled under golden sunlight, winding through meadows of vibrant green. Trees heavy with fruit, figs, pomegranates, and countless others stood in endless abundance, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. Flowers bloomed in bursts of crimson and gold, their fragrance a constant song of beauty. At the garden's heart stood two trees, the tree of life, its fruit glowing with eternal promise, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, its red fruit radiant yet forbidden. Adam and Eve walked in harmony, their hearts open to God. They tended the garden, naming animals, lions, lambs, and deer, living in perfect communion with their Creator. But into this serenity slithered a shadow. The serpent, cunning and subtle, approached Eve with a voice smooth as silk. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden?" he asked, twisting truth like a vine. Eve replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees, but God said, 'You must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, or you will die.'" The serpent's eyes gleamed. "You will not die," he hissed. "God knows that when you eat, your eyes will be opened and you will be like Him." Doubt crept into Eve's heart. She gazed at the tree, its red fruit shimmering, beautiful, and enticing. She reached out, plucked the fruit, and ate. Then, offering it to Adam, he too ate, choosing to join her. In an instant, their eyes were opened, not to divine wisdom, but to shame. They saw their nakedness, and sewed fig leaves to cover themselves, their hearts heavy with guilt. The garden, once a sanctuary, felt different. When God's voice called, "Where are you?" they hid among the trees, trembling. Adam answered, "I was afraid, so I hid." God asked, "Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to?" Adam pointed to Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit." Eve said, "The serpent deceived me." Sin had fractured their trust. God's judgment was swift. To the serpent he declared, "You are cursed, crawling on your belly, and enmity will stand between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To Eve he said, "Your pain in childbearing will increase, and your desire will be for your husband, yet he will rule over you." To Adam, "The ground is cursed because of you. Through toil you will eat, and to dust you will return." The harmony of Eden was broken, yet a promise of redemption lingered. In His justice, God showed mercy. He clothed Adam and Eve in garments of animal skins, a tender act of care for their shame. He expelled them from Eden, placing cherubim with a flaming sword to guard the tree of life, not to punish, but to protect them from living forever in sin. The promise of the woman's offspring crushing the serpent's head shone like a star, a hope of restoration. This ancient story speaks to us today. Psychologists note that temptation often begins with questioning boundaries. Much like the serpent's cunning words, we face our own trees, choices that promise fulfillment but lead to brokenness. Yet, the Bible offers hope. The promise of the offspring points to Jesus, who Christians believe crushed sin's power, offering forgiveness. Unlike myths where gods abandon humanity, the Bible shows a God who clothes us with grace, walking with us through our failures. The story of the fall invites you to reflect. Where have you faced temptation, and how can you seek God's forgiveness? His grace is near, ready to clothe you in love, just as He did for Adam and Eve. Take a moment to pray, to ask for strength to choose His path. Join us next time as we explore the story of Cain and Abel, a tale of jealousy, choice, and God's unending call to righteousness. Will their story reveal the roots of conflict in your own heart? Subscribe and journey with Scripture Glow to uncover more of God's radiant truth.